Hey everyone, Matron here, bringing you another StarCraft 2 commentary, this time Game 2 of the 5th round Losers Bracket matchup from MLG Dallas 2001. This is Liquid Tyler versus Liquid TLO, TLO spawning as the Blue Terran in the northeast position here on Xel'Naga Caverns, Tyler spawning as the Red Protoss in the southwest position. And that first game, let me tell you, was one of the most exciting PvTs I've seen in a long while. TLO with a masterful plan there, executed perfectly, and really just sort of played Tyler perfectly, is all you can really say. Tyler went down very quickly to that bunker, the drop play with the Marines, and I feel like he just didn't have enough units out in the early going. He was kind of relying on those lot of sentries at the top of his ramp on Scrap Station in case any sort of early pressure came, but TLO just bypassed that with that nice drop play, brought over the SCV. If you haven't watched that game, make sure you do. I've spoiled it a little bit, but just watching what TLO did was pretty masterful. So now we'll see if Tyler's able to come back in this series, force a Game 3. Both these players want to do well in this tournament as the complete standings for MLG, they accumulate over the year, so the better you do in the first tournament at Dallas here, the better it is for you later on. So both players hoping to get higher and higher as we proceed here, and Tyler sending out his scout after that first gateway, and TLO building everything kind of close to home here. First gas going down for both players around the appropriate time for a normal standard game, but TLO brings us nothing in terms of standard play. That first game was not standard at all. So we'll see what he has in store for us here, as Tyler going to make his way in here. Almost took down an SCV in that first game. Looks like he's attacking the barracks this time though. So the first Marine on its way out. Tyler's going to have to get all the information that he can at this point before it does come out. The orbital command on the way. And both players opening pretty normally here. Tyler placing down that cybernetics core. We'll see if he goes for a second gas in the early going here. If he tries to tech early, once again, get out a lot of sentries. The ramp is a little bit less wide, a little more narrow on Xel'Naga Caverns here, so the sentry can, with one force field, prevent any units from coming up. So unlike Scrap Station where you have a very wide ramp, you have to get out a lot of sentries. Tyler could cut a sentry or two in the early going. He actually went for a robotics facility right off the bat in that first game, trying to get out those observers, as we see TLO doing his best to harass the probes here. Kind of a newfound harassment method where you actually try to mine on a mineral field where one of the probes is about to mine, and it makes them go to a different mineral patch. Just loses a little bit of efficiency there and uses extra APM from the pros, but they can sort of afford it, as that Zealot's going to shoo away that SCV, and out comes the first sentry, and again opening up with another sentry or another Zealot off this first gateway. Back in the base of Liquid TLO, it looks like he's maybe opening kind of the same here, with one racks into a factory, and we'll see if he adds the starport. He has not added a second gas yet, so we'll see whether he favors another sort of drop play. We do have a robotics facility on the way for Tyler, so we will be able to get out those early observers and get great information on what his opponent's going for. So he is timing the gas out nicely, where he's able to send out a Zealot and then a sentry, another Zealot, and then another sentry. So he's going to be able to keep units from getting up this ramp in the early going. This sentry will have two force fields by the time any sort of Marines make their way over. But it looks like TLO is actually going for an expansion instead. So actually, I'm not sure if he got that Hellion out. It is out on the field. It looks like it's making its way to the south here. So you're going to try to do a little harassment, perhaps bait a force field out of Tyler. And again, the Hellion's very strong against the Zealot sentry mix because they're both light units. See a lot of sentry play as StarCraft 2 has progressed here. So the Blue Flame Hellions can just rip apart Zealots and sentries. It looks like TLO about 3/4 of the way down this command center, and has added on a tech lab to this factory, which means he's going to be coming out with tanks. He has not yet started siege mode. Check the production tab, and just pumping out Marines out of this reactor barracks. He has added that second refinery, but just a few SCVs on it at the moment. Both players opening pretty normally. TLO is going to try to get the expansion timing of Tyler with this Hellion, and Tyler sending over this observer. So he did get out that first one. It looks like a second one coming out as well, and protecting this pylon best he can. He's got two pylons powering all these buildings. We saw in the last game he had one pylon powering most of his buildings. It looks like TLO actually going to spot this with his Marines. So does he have enough energy for a scan? He does. So if he chooses to scan here, he could possibly take out this observer, which could be huge. It looks like he's going to let that go. Not really sure why, but maybe he wants that mule right now to continue macroing up, dropping 2 mules now. So he's got 2 orbitals. He could have taken out that observer if he wanted. Tyler, noticing his Marines were following, does a little bit of a dipsy-do with that observer, hoping that he won't be spotted. As he does move back into the base, he will see the 111 build once again. He's going to see the tech lab on the starport. So we could have Banshees coming out, but with those observers, he's going to be pretty protected from cloaked Banshees. We could have a Raven coming out as well to try to snipe those observers. It looks like the second one in position here. And Tyler expanding behind this. He knows his opponent does have this second orbital command out, so pretty safe time for both players to macro up here. Looks like a few or an Immortal coming out, and that's going to be very good against the tank play that TLO is going for, as well as Twilight Council. I imagine Tyler will be going for Blink, trying to close the distance on those tanks, take them out as soon as possible. Tanks can be pretty rough on the gateway units here. If you do not have Immortals, taking them down, again, Immortals doing a ton of damage to those armored tanks, 50 damage a pop, the tanks only with 160 health, so just a few shots from those Immortals, they go down very fast. The third and fourth gas on the way for Tyler. If we check the income count, it is 37 to 36, but again, TLO does have those double mules, so he's a little bit ahead in the mineral count at the moment. If we check the army tab, it is 73 to 69 now. But TLO has the advantage in terms of army value, and it looks like he's adding another command center right under the observer of Tyler. So Tyler can see this, and I wonder if TLO is going to be taking down these rocks or whether he's going to be going for the destructible rocks there. And it looks like the Raven popped out, so this observer could go down. Nice micro there by TLO, so that one observer does go down. Tyler's going to have to move this guy as well. He does not want to lose both observers. He invested very early in the robotics so that he could get those out and really have good information. It looks like he's going all in here with more and more Immortals, the fourth one on the way, and Hallucination coming out as well as Blink, so going to be a pretty techy army from Tyler at this point. He's got just the 3 sentries, all of which have pretty full energy, 200, 200, so they could use some Hallucinations as well as Guardian Shields and Force Fields in any sort of early battle. TLO just favoring the Marines at this point. He's got a few Hellions coming across the field, perhaps to do some harassment. 4 of them on their way over, split up in groups of 2. Tyler might have seen that with this observer. He does have down these 2 pylons, so he's going to be able to prevent any sort of backdoor harass by those Hellions. It looks like these Hellions trying to dart up into the main, but Tyler was able to see those, perhaps hoping to pull Tyler's forces out of position and use these to get in behind. But it looks like Tyler going to play it safe and stay home here. He's got a nice spread on his units, and he's going to try to focus down these Hellions. They are blue flamed at this point, so taking down a number of probes. It looks like 3 or 4 probes have gone down. A few more probes go down, and it looks like this Hellion going to be cleaned up very easily. But he was able to take down 7 workers, so a decent bit of harassment there, and that's going to give him time to get up this gold expansion. So adding his 5th and 6th gas now, he needs to get these tanks down here and into siege mode, perhaps throw up a bunker as well. Another starport coming, and it looks like a few more starports. Wow, so 4 starports coming, all with tech labs, and they're going to be coming out with Banshees. So it looks like TLO going for the Banshee Raven Marine mix, and that's very strong against Protoss. You're going to be able to cloak the Banshees at some point, and the point defense drone is going to be able to prevent these Stalkers from shooting those Banshees. Looks like TLO is going to be losing this command center, so he did nice harassment there to try to get that up. But then he's going to lose both the refiners here as well, the command center. Looks like he was able to cancel one of those refineries, I believe. And now he's going to be in a bit of trouble, hoping that these 3 Banshees pop out so that he can defend this push. It looks like Tyler getting ready to do some offensive pressure here. A lot of Immortals, many of them actually just Hallucinations though. And those Hallucinations do have the hardened shell, so you can't really tell which are which, and it looks like the Raven coming in here needs to drop that point defense drone. The Banshees doing their best, along with the tanks, to just eat alive these Stalkers. The point defense drone finally does go down, intercepting a lot of those Stalkers' fire, and Tyler having to give the GG. That very, very strong DPS of the tanks in siege mode, the Banshees, as well as those Marines, just able to eat alive all those Stalkers, and then no answer for all of these Banshees now. 5 Banshees popping out, and 3 more on the way would easily be able to take down these Immortals. I don't think Tyler got in good position there. The Hallucinations trying to get into this very small choke. Even though he did have Blink, He just did not do a very nice job controlling the army. Perhaps he should have done a bit of a split on the left-hand side as well, trying to get some immortals, snuck them back there, and focus down those tanks. TLO had 4 tanks here in position. He was focus firing down those stalkers first. He dropped the point defense drone a little bit late, but it did its job, intercepting a lot of those stalkers' bolts as they were trying to make their way up to the Banshees. And if we check the units lost tab, 3,500 to 1,900. TLO taking the series, moving on in the losers bracket. Tyler is out, perhaps focused a bit too much on TSL. Did not have a very good showing here in MLG Dallas, so hopefully in Columbus in June he will do a better job and increases his rank in the standings, the general overall MLG standings. If you're looking for more MLG action and StarCraft action in general, check out my channel Matron StarCraft at youtube.com. Thanks for watching this one. Take care.